what would you be asking about? What would you want us to look for? And you heard Vrabel say there, he's a trenches guy.
Yeah.
He focused on the trenches. So Patriots in pads today. First time, Vrabel's first time, with the team in pads. What would you have looked for? What would be the first thing?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a great answer from Vrabel because he's almost the opposite of Bill, where Bill will sometimes make you guess. Belichick would make you guess what his philosophy was. But you had to listen. If you had to listen very closely, you could figure out what the philosophy of Bill Belichick was over the years. Mike Vrabel is not really making you guess. He's saying the same things over and over. His first press conference, he says we want to take advantage of bad football. The game is won up front. Look at the Super Bowl. Look how Philadelphia was able to take advantage of Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And then today he's talking about not falling down, being coordinated, being powerful enough to establish yourself at the line of scrimmage. This is what he wants. And it's noble. It's admirable. I think you will see elements of it this year. I just think it's hard to establish that in year one with the team as bad as the Patriots were. They don't. I think he got some of his players in, but they don't. You can't transform that. You can't get that type of mentality and that type of performance in one offseason.
Don't you think they could do it on the defensive line?
No.
I mean, they got a lot of veteran guys there, Michael.
Yeah, they got a lot of veteran guys.
When I say veteran guys, I'm counting guys who've been in the league for 3 years. Milton Williams.
Yeah.
Harold Landry.
Okay. Nice.
Barmore.
Yeah.
Keon White.
Okay. Milton Williams, we don't know. He was part of a great rotation in Philadelphia. Their defensive line is amazing.
Yeah, but they paid him like he's going to have to be an NBA player.
Right. And he's going to have to do that. He's going to have to play a lot more than he has in his career. Keon White talks a good game. You got to back it up now, big fella. Time to back it up. So I don't know what you're going to get from Keon White. Barmore, once again, you don't know what you're going to get from essentially missing all of last year. They were the worst team with sacks last year. Worst team in football. Just did not get to the passer. Harold Landry is good. He's a good Vrabel player. Solid, above average. But that's a lot to overcome. So I think what I'm looking for, and this is where it starts. Anything that happened, I don't want to hear about anything that happened last week. Does not matter to me because it's not real football until you put the pads on. Put the pads on, and the number one thing, Murray, I'm looking for is the left tackle. It's back to that. I'm not going to sit up here talking about short arms. Not short arm talk today, but anybody can play left tackle without pads on. Now let's put on the pads and let's see who Will Campbell is. Let's see if Will Campbell is a tackle or a guard, because everything else becomes irrelevant. The development of Drake May, Josh McDaniels, how good Steph Diggs looks, and look at Demario Douglas. All that's irrelevant if that guy can't play left tackle.
Campbell reportedly had a good day as a run blocker. I'm just reading from all the reports down there, and he was part of the good from Mike Giardi of Boston Sports Journal. Said Will Campbell had good moments as a run blocker, and he was kind of blowing some people up. Now, that said, Milton Williams, hopefully I'm saying that incorrectly, Kairos Tonga, Keon White in particular, were a handful defensively. And then the corners held up after Gonzalez. That's the big story of the day. Christian Gonzalez left with that injury. And so no further update on that injury status, though.
Michael Murray, are there any details on the Gonzalez injury? It sounded like it was a hamstring.
It
right?
looked at, nothing beyond that. Just left leg, limped, went with the trainers, never returned. But just, look, we're no doctors, but just you've watched enough football, you've seen these training camp practices. It did look like it was probably a hamstring.
That would suck. That would suck to be without him for a long time. You look at the strength of this. You talk to me about the front seven, I have questions. I don't really have a lot of questions about the secondary. If you get Carlton Davis out there, Davis and Gonzalez, you're not just above average. I'd say that's a top 10
tandem,
top 10 corner duo in the league. So
how do you feel about their safeties?
Good. I think their safeties are good. Like last year,
I don't.
You don't think their safeties are good?
I don't. I think they have two strong safeties. I don't think they have a true free safety, someone who can, I'll just use the general term.
Kyle Hamilton.
Run sideline to sideline and, cover the secondary. I don't think they have that kind of guy. I don't think either one of those guys is a pass player.
Well, I thought Duggar disappointed me last year. And so I'm going to give him a pass because I thought he was trending in that direction. He's definitely got the tools for it. Last year was a down year for Kyle Duggar. And then Peppers, we know. I mean, that year was all over, on the field, off the field, just craziness for Jabril Peppers. Do you think that you think Marcus Jones, but he's more of a corner? You don't think you can kind of invent that guy?
No,
kind of like hybrid guy.
I mean, maybe they can, but I don't see it yet. So no. So look, if you're saying to me someone's going to come out of the woodwork and they're going to move Marcus Jones to safety and he's going to be the guy.
So small though.
Okay, yeah, I don't think he's big enough.
Yeah, he's just so small.
Yeah, I don't think he's big enough. And so now look, what's his name in Seattle? When Earl Thomas was an overly big guy.
Yeah, but
but he would hammer people.
Hit.
But Jones likes to hit.
And he could cover. He could really, really cover.
Yeah, he could, so there's a combination of speed and strength there that you have to play that position, and also smarts, right? Like free safety's a big spot. And when the Patriots have been, McCourty wasn't, to me, McCourty wasn't Hall of Fame caliber talent, but he was solid. McCourty was a solid B plus safety, and what he may have lacked in some of the raw ability.
I would say McCourty was an A- safety.
Okay,
even.
Fine.
I would say you look at McCourty, but just exactly what you're talking about. They didn't draft him to be a safety. That first year he was great as a corner. Then he lost it. He just couldn't cover. All of a sudden he just lost the ability to play corner. They moved him to safety, and he's all over the place. Has great speed. He ended his career with great speed.
Yep.
And if you look at there was in your mind's eye, think of a Devin McCourty interception. It's like you're in a ghost town. Nobody within 20 yards.
Correct.
And the ball is just coming to you. But he could cover. He could cover the deep middle of the field. And so you can find those guys even if you don't draft them as free safeties.
Yeah, it can be done. And look, I think McCourty more often than not had himself in the right position. So he was smart, really smart.
They used to have a lot of those guys too. Like McCourty was one of them. Duron Harmon, to a degree, was one of those guys that never really struggled with the deep middle guy. I think part of it was scheme. But we haven't seen a guy like that in a long time.
They haven't had one
with
in
the
a
Patriots.
while.
I mean, really, since McCourty left.
Yeah, they haven't had one. And just quickly, as you mention it, is there, if I say to you, what was the most memorable play of Devin McCourty's career? Do you have one?
Of his career? I wouldn't say of his career. The one play that stands out to me was this when he was traveling 21 miles an hour. So remember this return
in Seattle. That one was it a pick six in Seattle?
Yeah, pick six.
He was fast.
Yeah. So, but as far as a career defining, no. I always.
Do you remember any of his interceptions?
Yeah, but you know what? That's what I'm saying. His interception. When I think of his interceptions, it's always, oh boy, wow, what a terrible throw from the quarterback. That's good. Devin McCourty's going to come up with that.
I remember one.
Which one?
Murray, do you remember it?
No.
Baltimore. There was one against Baltimore. I think it was in the game where they threw the two trick plays.
Okay.
So I think he picked off Flacco on the sideline, created. It was a different Baltimore game, but I'm pretty sure it was that one where he picked off Flacco on the sideline and kept his feet in bounds. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah. You know what? And that is in that game. You know what I remember about that game is weird. Like the things that stand out over the years. That game. So you remember we all remember the trick plays. You remember that interception. I remember that was a sneaky game mismanagement situation from Bill Belichick. You remember this? Do you remember the game? If you go back and watch it, I think it was Nance on the broadcast. So Nance is pretty much saying, "Hey, and the Patriots will advance." And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Hey, Jim. I think you and Bill Belichick have kind of missed the game the clock. The Ravens can still get the ball, and the Ravens wound up throwing the ball deep. It was a scary game. I think the Patriots I think Belichick screwed up the clock there, and the Ravens had a chance at the end to steal it. They didn't, clearly. But it was a pretty big blunder from Belichick that everybody kind of glossed over because the Patriots won the game.
So was it like a Hail Mary type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look it up during the break, Holley.
So Revis was back there because in the first half, I think it was Steve Smith on the Ravens at the time?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So Steve Smith had his way with Revis in the first couple of series of the game. And then Revis responded and pretty much shut him down in the second half. But I think it was they were going for Steve Smith late in the game. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. If this is a pass interference or if this is a reception, the Ravens might come away and steal this game.
Steve Smith finished the day with 3 catches on 4 targets. All 3 catches on 3 targets were in the first half. 44 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, so first half.
Very good.
First half, he kind of had his way with Revis, and Revis was like, all right, we'll take care of this.
Okay, good. I'd like to know that your memory's actually working. So that way I can, the next time you say something about the pass, I'll be able to believe you. So that's
and you still won't believe me.
Yes,
and you still won't.